Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's lesson. This is coding for grade 7s and I am your presenter, Mr. Paul de Klerk, and there is my email address, so if you guys have any questions that we maybe cannot get to during the presentation or during the lesson, you're welcome to send them through to me on that email address. Okay. So let's move right into it. I'm going to review these coding principles with you before every coding lesson, and the reason is this is the foundation that you will build your coding knowledge on for the future. Okay, they are not so important now while we are working on the platforms that we are, but it's always good to learn good habits from the start. So we want to always find the easiest way to solve the problem, okay? And we also want to start with solving the easiest problem first. That just makes our workflow when we code much easier and faster. The next one is keep your code as short as you can. So do not use 10 lines of code, or in our example, use 10 blocks of code for something that you can do with 6 blocks of code. And then the last one says take away code that is not being used. So we can do that and make sure that there is no wasted code on our workspace. Right. So today we are going to finish with nested loops in a maze, and then we are going to keep using nested loops but for a different application. So I'm going to jump to that screen quickly. Let me just get there. Okay, I'm going to put the link in the chat. And make sure that I'm sending it to everyone. Okay, so you can copy that link, put it into your web browser, or you can click on it if you are using a computer. If you're on a device, it's a bit more difficult. A mobile device. Okay, so just type yes in the chat box if you are ready, so that we can start solving this problem that we have. Thank you, Amu. Okay. Just going to wait for one more confirmation. And there I got it from Lungelu. Right, so as always, we start with the problem. The problem, or the instructions here at the top, is make all of the honey. So we can see our little bee here on the left, and we can see all the places where it can make honey. And it can do the make honey function once on each one of these, or it has to. So what is the first problem that we need to solve? Or the easiest one? We need to make the bee move from here to there, and then we need to make the bee move from there to there, all the while collecting honey or making honey as it is going along, and we have 6 blocks. So in the chat box, tell me, what do you think should I put first? Okay, so we have someone that says move forward times 5. So should I put the move forward block 5 times, or should I put one move forward into a repeat and make the repeat 5 times? Okay, Amu says repeat, and he's right. So we're going to put a repeat block in here, and we're going to put a move forward block inside the repeat. And just to review, repeat says do what is inside here this many times. No problem, Jonah, welcome. Glad to see you. Okay, so we started off. Let me just paste that link one more time for anybody who's maybe a bit late. Okay, so we say, oh, Junior, there we go. Hey, Junior. Right, so Junior said we have to put this repeat block, and we'll put move forward inside that. And that's going to make the bee go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and it's going to be there. Right? So the repeat block says put whatever is in here, do that this many times. Now, there's something else that has to happen. They have to make honey. And I see there in the comments or the chats that make honey is the next move. Now, where do I put the make honey block? Do I put it under the repeat, or do I put it inside the repeat to loop with the move forward? Which one do you guys think? Inside or under? Aha, there's the first one, inside. And yes, that's correct, we need to put it inside. Otherwise, if I do it this way, the bee will move forward 5 times and then make honey once. Okay, so the only things that will repeat is what is inside the repeat block. So the move forward and make honey now becomes a loop, and it's going to do that 5 times. Okay, now we get our bee all the way to the end, and we can't make it move anymore to this way. It has to do something before it can move. So we need to put in another block here. And what block is that we're going to put in there? Yes, Alma, we will make a nested loop, but before we do that, we need to get the bee to face down here. So what block do we do? What do we use? Turn left. Alma says turn right. Okay, so let's quickly think about this. If you are standing where the bee is standing now, then this tree is going to be on your left. Okay? So the bee needs to turn left. That's right. Does the turn left go inside the first repeat or outside the first repeat block? Outside. Yes, good. Very good. Okay, so now we have something here. The bee needs to come down and make honey again, but we only have space left for one more block. So we can't put a make forward and make honey and put that in a repeat again and do that 5 times. This will work. If we put the code like this, it will work. But now we have 8 blocks used and we are only allowed to use 6 blocks. So what we can do, and this is where the name nested loop comes in, we take all of this away, we put a big loop or a repeat block and loop everything inside that. And how many times will we repeat this segment of code here, or this string of code? 2 times. Great. Let's run the code and let's see. Awesome. It won't be long before you guys start teaching me how to do coding. So the only thing that went wasted here is we wasted one last turn left. He didn't have to turn left there, but we only used 6 blocks of code. If we did it the other way to make sure that all the code gets used, then we would have had 8 blocks of code and we didn't want that. Okay. So let's just read this. It says repeat all of this 2 times. What is it going to repeat? It's going to repeat move and make honey 5 times and turn left. Okay. So I'm going to run the code one more time and then we can move on. We did do this one yesterday, so this is just a quick review to make us remember how these nested loops work. Okay. Right, so now let's look at this code and answer the question. Look closely at the code below. How much honey will the bee make when you click run? So now we need to look at the code. And where do we start? We always start with the easiest thing to find. The easiest solution to the answer. Move forward, make honey times 2. So we can see here it's going to move forward and make honey 2 times. So it will be here. Then it says turn before it turns left. There it's going to turn left and go down. Okay? So before it moves again. So here we can see move forward and make honey 2 times. So move forward, make honey, move forward, make honey. Turn left. Then we have move forward, make honey, move forward, make honey. Turn left. I'm lying, turn right. Then it's going to repeat the same thing. Okay. So we can either count it the way I did with my math now, or not with my math, with my pointer, or we can use maths like you guys just did, which is the faster way. Here we can see make honey 2 times 2 times, and that's going to be 4 times, and that's going to happen 2 times, so that's 8 times. And let's see if you guys are right. The answer is B, and it's going to be 8 times. Yes, great. Okay, so I just want to quickly show you that one more time before we continue. Oops, now this whole thing is reloading. Okay, let's just go back in here. And that wasn't number 12, that was number 13. Because we ran through this very quickly. There are 2 ways to do this. The first one is to use the mouse pointer and actually act out in your mind's eye what the bee is going to do. Okay? The other option is for us to just count here in the code, which is going to be the better way, because when you are writing code in the future, you will not have a small picture like this to show you what's going to happen. So you need to be able to read the code, and that's why they have these exercises here. We need to be able to read the code to figure out what will happen, and also this helps us to fix mistakes. So let's say somebody else wrote a program and that person doesn't work for the company anymore. Now you work for the company and you have to fix a mistake that they made in their code. You won't be able to do that if you do not know how to read this code. So to read the code is very easy. We are looking for make honey. We see it happens 2 times. Make honey 2 times, so 2 plus 2 is 4. And this entire loop happens 2 times. So 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? So you guys are right with 8. That's correct. I just wanted to show you the best way to find that answer and the reason why it is the best way. Right, let's continue. In coding, it's very important to not just do something because it works. You need to understand why you did it. Because once you need to start solving problems, you need to understand how everything works. Okay, so now we are going to make snowflakes with Anna and Elsa from Frozen. My son probably watched this movie 100 times when it came out, so I know these 2 girls very well. So here she says, "Hi, I am Elsa of Arendelle. Help me draw a shape." Okay, so we want to draw a hexagon with a 50 pixel long side. Now in computer code and what you can see, distance, the length is always measured in pixels. Okay, it's the same for photo sizes. Photos are measured in pixels. Your computer screen is also measured in pixels. Okay, so pixel is going to tell us how long something will be or how far something will move. Right? The next one is to turn by an amount of degrees, and that's going to tell you how much it's going to turn. So all the turns we've used up until now have been 90-degree turns. Turn right and turn left is a 90-degree turn. Okay, and then repeat a total of 6 times. We know repeat blocks by now, so that's not a problem. Okay, so here we have Elsa, and she needs to draw that line, and we were told that that is 50 pixels long. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to put a move forward block in here because we want her to move forward. We do not want her to jump forward. If she jumps forward, she's not going to draw a line there. She only draws a line where she moves. And here we can see that it is 50 pixels, so we need to change this to 50. Okay. Remember, these are doing blocks, so all these blue blocks are doing blocks, and they make the character do something, and we can adjust many things on these blocks. We can adjust if it's going backwards or forwards. We can adjust, let me just click off here. Okay, we can adjust right or left. We can adjust how many degrees. And we can adjust how many pixels like we did here. Okay. If it has a little arrow, you can choose from a few options. If it doesn't have an arrow, you can type in your own number. Okay, so we're going to move forward by 50. Then we know that that turn is 60 degrees because they tell us that. So now we want her to turn right because she has to come down. She's not going up with 60 degrees. And a hexagon has 6 sides. So she has to do all of this 6 times. If you cannot see the repeat block, you just scroll down and there you'll see there's a repeat block. And now there are some new blocks that we have here, okay? And before we carry on, I want to teach you about this one. This one, the comment block. This is not code that will do something. This is where you can put some notes into the code that you are writing. So for example, if I put this here, or I can put it, yeah, let's put it there. I can say that this will make Elsa draw a line. And I'm going to leave that there. And this is going to help me if I write computer code today and I make a software program for somebody to use, or like I make websites on the internet. So I will put comments like this into code to tell me exactly what that code does and why I put it there. So if I come back 2 years later, I don't have to remember these exact words: move forward by 50, turn right by 60. Because maybe this will repeat somewhere down the line. Now remember, when I write code for a website, I write 20, 30 pages of code. It's not just a small workspace like this. So to make it easier for myself to find, I can use comments. What this also helps is if somebody else is going to work on my code, they don't have to look for things. They can just find the comment, and you can actually search on a sheet of code these words, and then the computer will show you where they are. Okay, so I'm going to leave the comment in there so that you can see it doesn't change how things work. Okay, the next two we will see in the next exercises and how they work. So we're going to put this repeat block in there. Now we want this move to go inside. I'm going to put my comment to the top so that I know everything under it is what is happening. And there are 6 sides to the hexagon, so we're going to put the number 6 there. Okay, if you do not have a comment on your code, that is okay. I'm leaving this here to teach you a good coding principle. This is one of those things. It's good coding practice. Now if we hit run, there we go. The comment didn't change the fact that the code still worked. Okay, I'm going to make it a bit slower. I'm going to take the comment out and I'm going to run it again so that you can see. Okay, are you all following? Have you all done that exercise? Puzzle 1 for lesson 9. Type yes if you are finished with this in the chat box. No. Okay. Yes. Right, I'm going to show the code one more time. This code is very easy because this is telling us exactly what to do. Move forward by 50 pixels. There we have move forward by 50 pixels. Then turn right by 60 degrees. And then repeat everything. Okay, good. 6 times, right? So I put the comment in there to teach you about comments, but you don't need to use the comment now. Okay, so let's have Elsa run, draw that hexagon, and then we can move on. Now what makes this one nice is it keeps our code here. Okay, so we don't have to recode everything the entire time. So let's see. After your hexagon, turn right by 60 degrees, then draw a line that is 150 pixels long. Finish by putting Elsa back in the center of the play area using the jump to middle or center block. Okay, so this code here we know now will make a hexagon, okay, because we learned that in the previous puzzle. So what they want us to do is to add this long line to this hexagon shape. And you'll see in the next exercise why we do that. So they tell us we need to turn right after we've built the hexagon or drawn the hexagon. And then we need to move forward, and this time this line is 3 times as long as one of those lines. So it has to be 150 pixels. Yes, there, good. Right 60 degrees. Okay. Now my question to you is, do I put this under the repeat or do I put it inside the repeat? Where I have it now, under, is that okay? Is that the right place for it to be? So I have one that says yes outside. Yes, okay. Now there was one more thing that we had to do. I want to show you, I'm going to run the code very quickly so that you can see. There Elsa has drawn the pattern, but the instruction says we need to put the jump to the middle or the center position. So this is that block. And here we can choose where we want her to end up. So if we say random, she's going to end up on a random spot in this area, the play area. Bottom center is going to let her end up here in the bottom center. But we want her to be in the middle center, which is right here. Okay? And that is going to move her there when the code has finished. I'm going to show that to you. Come on. And in the next exercise, you will see why that is very important. So now, she's drawing the shape, drawing the line, and going back. Did you see the difference? If we take the jump block out, she stays here at the bottom of this line. But if we put the jump block in, she goes back to that position there. Okay, do you all understand how this jump block works? Yes. Okay. And because it is a jump block, she just moves. If it is a move block, she's going to draw a line when she moves. Okay? Great. So let us move on to the next puzzle. Number 3. Now, this is becoming tricky. Look at that shape. Now we're going to be creating not only a hexagon and a line, but we are going to be making an entire snowflake. Are you guys ready for this? Are you excited for this? It's much easier than it looks. Yes, okay, good. So let's read what they say here at the top. Let's make a snowflake. To turn this code into a snowflake, nest all of the code inside of another repeat loop and run it a total of 6 times. You should only need to add one more block. Okay? So it's crazy to think we can make this entire shape by adding only one more block. And we are now using nested loops. That is the exact same principle that we learned earlier. We used nested loops for mazes. But now I don't want to get confused here. So I'm going to put a comment in here. And this is going to say hexagon. And I'm going to put another comment in here. And this is going to say long line. Whoops. Okay. Now in the future, if I want to make a hexagon again, I can just look at this and I can see what a hexagon's code looks like. I don't have to go and figure it out from the beginning. Okay? So again, this is just for me and teaching you how to have good habits when you are writing computer code. Believe me, I've worked on other people's computer code before. If they do not use comments, it's very, very difficult for me to do my job. But if they use comments like I do, it makes it a lot easier for everybody. Okay, so now what this says is we need to put all of this inside another repeat. So we put the repeat at the top and we move this entire section of code inside and we repeat that 6 times because they tell us to repeat it 6 times here in the instructions. Now have a look at what happens in the picture. So there is a hexagon. And there's the long line. Now she jumped to the center and now she's making another hexagon and another long line and back to the center. And now we can see our picture taking shape. And if you look at the workspace, you can see what code is actually running. And you'll see that the yellow skips the comments. The comment is not code. It's only there for me to know what I've done and remember what I've done, and for someone else to figure out what I have done. And look at that. Okay, I'm going to go back to the code because this is a long one to write, and I want to read to you what's happening here so that we all understand. Okay, so while I explain this, you can copy this code. Yes, it is gorgeous. You can copy this code to your computer. So I'm going to explain to you. Here we have the code for a hexagon. So it is saying move forward by 50 pixels. So every time she moves, she's going to draw a line of ice and then turn right by 60 degrees. Do this 6 times. Okay? Remember, repeat block loops whatever is inside that many times. Okay. Then we have code here that says turn right by 60 degrees and then move forward by 150 pixels. So this is drawing that long line that comes out of the snowflake. And then we have one extra one that makes Elsa move back to the center of our playing field or our playing area. But she is not drawing a line when she goes there because she's jumping. It's not a move, it's a jump block. Okay? And then we are making her draw a hexagon and the long line 6 times. So this big repeat block here is looping everything in here 6 times. And that is how we get this picture. The comments are just there for me to remember what code is doing what function. Okay. So I'm going to run this one last time. You can put in the chat box, have you all copied this code onto your computer? Are you ready? Can we move on to the next puzzle? Okay, Jonah and Amu, good. Rita, Connie and Numboso, good. Let's just, Gao is ready, yes, okay. Right, she is finished. Okay, so now we can see the power of nested loops and why we had to learn about them. In this next exercise, it's becoming even more difficult. So, now this is telling us that this icon means that this level is part of a larger project. Changes will be saved across these levels. So we may have to use this code again, and this is going to save the code that we write here for us. Okay. It has removed my comments, so I'm not going to put them back now. I think you all understand the comments. Do you understand this comment block, this gray comment block? Put it in our comment section. Do you understand it? Do you understand the use and the function? Yes or no? Or do you want me to put the comments back? Okay, Amu says he understands it. Okay, if Amu understands it and everyone else understands that comment block, I'm not going to use it again now. Okay, this code is still easy, so we don't need to use comments. But believe me, guys, when we write code that is longer than one page, you want to use comments because it becomes very difficult to keep track. Okay, so let's make our snowflake special. Inspiration. Where do you need to add code if you want to draw a tiny square at the tip of each line? Okay, so here it says you can try whatever you want in this puzzle, but here is an idea. Try making a tiny square at the end of each line. Each side should be 15 pixels long. You should turn by 90 degrees and repeat those actions a total of 4 times. So let's go to our picture. There are 6 long lines here. So there will be 6 small squares. So the code that we write to make a small square, we will have to do 6 times. Okay? So, if we run this code now, Elsa is obviously ending up back in the center and she's facing this way. So we want to add in those small squares. Now here they tell us that the small square is 15 pixels each side. So we're going to do that. We're going to move forward. Okay. And we're going to do that by 15 pixels. And we are going to turn by, and it's not going to be 60 degrees. It's going to be 90 degrees. Okay. And this has to happen 4 times. Whoops, let me just put this in here. Because a square has 4 sides. Okay? So do you all understand this? This piece of code is going to be the small square. Do you understand that? Can you see that? Does it make sense? Okay. Most of you are saying yes. So remember, we solve the easiest problem first. The easiest problem was, how do we make a small square? It was the easiest to solve because they told us up here how to do it. So now we have this. Now we need to put this into the code so that it is being drawn at the end of each long line. Now if you remember, my comment that I had here said that this code was for a long line. But there's one problem here. This jump to middle. Where does that go? Does it go before the squares repeat, or does it have to be under the squares repeat, like this? So you need to tell me that. Which one? Does this jump to middle go above the repeat of the square, or does it go under the repeat of the square? In the comment section, type above or under. Are you guys there? Can you hear me? I can't see any comments coming through in the chat box. Anyone there? You guys want to try and answer this question for me? Where do we put this jump to middle? Remember, we are learning, so if you tell me an answer and it's wrong, we test it, we see it doesn't work, then we change the code. We're not going to break anything. Okay, Jonah says she thinks it needs to be under the repeat block. Okay, so I'm going to make this run quickly and then I'm going to show you. I also think it needs to be under, but let's see. So there she's going, making that small square, but there's one problem that we have there. Okay, 2 things. The first one is she's drawing the square on the opposite side of where we want it to go. So we need to change the direction of one of the turns. So which one do you think needs to change? The 60 degrees, the 60 degrees or the 90 degrees? One of them has to change from right to left. So which one has to change? 90, 60, 60. Which one? The 90, yes, because it is the turn that is making the square. And that needs to change to left. Okay, so if we remember this first repeat block, this draws the hexagon. These 2 lines of code, they draw the long lines, and this draws the square. So if the problem is with the square, then we need to make the change in the square. Okay, and back to my previous question that Jonah answered correctly. if we put the jump to middle block before this code, let's see what happens. Look at where she's making those squares now. Look at that. It still looks nice, but it's not correct. Okay, remember code runs sequentially. So what that means is it runs in a sequence. What we tell it to do first, it will do first. So what we put first, it will do first. So now we're telling it, draw the long line, then go back to the center, then make the square. But that's not what we want to happen. What we want to happen is, let me just try to move this one. What we want to happen is draw the hexagon, draw the long line, draw the small square, then go back to the center. So 3 things are happening before she goes back to the center and everything starts again in this big loop. Going to reset this and let's see this time if our code is right. And I hope you guys can see from this, there we go, the first block is right. Because everything is in a loop, if the first one is right, then we can assume that everything else will work as well. Because she's going to do all of this 6 times. Okay, so we know all of this code is in a loop, so she did the first one right, so we don't have to wait for her to finish everything to know that it is going to work, because we already know 1 time through is enough. Okay, so I'm going to make it go faster. And there we go. So using the comments, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening here. So here, we will draw, yes, the hexagon. This line is to draw the long line. And this code here is going to draw, oops, the square. So hit me up in the comment section or in the chat box. Do you understand? Does this code make sense to you? Did you copy this code to your computer and is it working? Okay, Jonah says now it does. So I hope that these comments that I'm putting in here helps you. I'm going to keep using them because it just makes it easier for us to actually understand what the code is saying. Right. Good. Now what you can do is when we are finished here and we are not in class, come back here to this puzzle. I will put the link to this puzzle in the chat right before we say goodbye. Then you copy that link down and save it somewhere. Or take a photo or a screen capture of this link here at the top. Then you can visit it anytime. And you can come and play here. Come do some crazy things. Change the direction from right to left. Change the degrees. This one isn't limited by the amount of blocks. So you can come and play around and learn exactly what these blocks will do. Okay. So let us move on to the next, and it's going to be, I don't even think we'll be able to finish it. Let's quickly see. I haven't seen this yet. Okay. Try changing the shapes or the length of the lines to make this your own. And here they say you can change your drawing any way you want. But here is an idea. Try switching the shape, the types of shape in the middle of the snowflake with the one at the end of each line. Wow. So the only thing it is telling us to do is change where we had 6 hexagons here into 6 squares. And where we had 6 small squares into 6 small hexagons. Okay, I'm going to do this now But when we start tomorrow, we will try this puzzle one more time, okay? But I'm going to quickly do this. So remember, this one was draw the hexagon. Now we're going to change this to drawing a square. But a square doesn't have 6 sides. It only has, how many sides do we need here? How many times do we repeat this to make it a square? Anyone there? So we want to change this from a hexagon to a square. How do we do that? Okay, I'm going to do it now for those that are still there. This changes to 4 sides, yes. And there's another thing. The degrees are not 60 degrees anymore. It becomes 90 degrees. If you remember the square here, we can see that, okay? Now at the bottom, we're going to change the square into a hexagon. And that means this becomes a 6 and this becomes 60 degrees. And it stays 15 pixels and 50 pixels because that's the size. I'm going to run this one time so that you guys can see if we were right or not. And look at that. So we only changed 2 things around. We changed the degrees and we changed the amount of times that the loop runs, the repeat block. And now the entire shape looks different. So all we did is this one used to be the hexagon, so we changed it to 4 sides because it's a square, and we made it 90 degrees because the square doesn't have 60-degree angles, it only has 90-degree angles. And here at the bottom, it used to be the small square. We changed the repeat to 6 because a hexagon has 6 sides, and we changed the degrees to 60 degrees because a hexagon has 60-degree corners. It doesn't have 90-degree corners. And I changed the comments so that you guys can see what's happening in the code. Okay. I'm going to switch to my slideshow. And this was nested loops. Oh, sorry, let me just quickly do this. I said that I'll do this. So I quickly want to go back to this screen, back to this puzzle. And I'm going to put this link in here for everyone, so that if you want to go and practice, save that link now. When this meeting ends, that link is going to be gone, or when this class is finished. So save that link now, then you can go and play. Change the code around, change the numbers, change the degrees, change how many times the repeat block runs, and the loop works, and then you can see what crazy pictures you can come up with. So we are finished with lesson 9. We are now into lesson 10. No, I'm lying. Lesson 9 is the one that we're busy with, and we just finished 5. Tomorrow we will continue with that. Thank you so much. You can send your questions through to my email, and if you make photos of the pictures that you guys are creating now on that code.org platform, you can email me those pictures as well. Okay, I'd love to see the designs that you come up with and how you played with the code. If you want to screen capture the screen and show me the code, you can do that. Okay, have a great day, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.